welcome to another episode of Aztecs Weekly. I'd like to welcome back my partner BT. He's been on assignment for the last couple weeks, and welcome back, bud.
Thank you.
I am Darren. Like I said, he is BT. We talk everything San Diego State Aztec sports, and with that being said, I want to jump right in and talk a little bit of Aztec football. They had their pro day about a week ago, and over 20 NFL scouts were in attendance to watch guys like Ryan Lindley, Ronnie Hillman, Miles Burris, Tommy Draheim, and just want to give your overall impression of how pro day went.
No, I thought it was good.
Yeah.
Sad that Ronnie Hillman wasn't able to participate, but like I said, Miles
probably
Burris,
the biggest news out of the whole thing is that Ronnie Hillman didn't participate because he's, I mean, no question, the number one guy coming out of SDSU this year.
I agree. I think Miles Burris is doing himself a great service this offseason. I think that he's jumped up from like a 5th or 6th round pick to easily 3rd or 4th round. He's just going to be a solid linebacker at the next level.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. You know, there was actually, they had a couple guys there covering the event, and one guy actually predicted him to be a 6th or 7th rounder, and I was like, oh man, I kind of don't agree with that. I thought he was a little higher up on the, you know, I don't think he's going to get drafted the first day, you know, obviously, but I could see him going 3rd, 4th round.
Yeah, so
I mean, he's a phenomenal talent.
Look at the defense they play. They play a 3-3-5, which is probably the weirdest defense that you can play on a regular basis. And just the fact that he played it so well.
He excelled at it, yeah, exactly.
So you got the mental part down, the physical
No
part
doubt.
down. Let's go hold him back.
No doubt.
Like I said, I think 3rd, 4th round, 5th round the lowest. But I don't think he drops into the 3rd day of the draft.
You know what? If he does, somebody's going to get a steal because
Yes.
he's going to be a guy that could come in, probably play special teams a year or two, but he's going to be able to contribute. So yeah, I kind of like your. I mean, he's probably the biggest sleeper to come out of SDSU.
I agree.
With that said, Ryan Lindley, just insane amount of completed. He completed 67 of 73 passes. Granted, guys aren't rushing him, you know, but he's not throwing to his own receivers. So you know, you can complete that. You play catch with somebody and complete that many passes. It's impressive. So you know, congratulations to him. He didn't do anything to hurt his stock. We were actually talking about before we went on the show. I actually wouldn't mind seeing the Chargers take a look at him. You know, they're in need of a 3rd string, 2nd string quarterback for the next couple of years. So
yeah, I'm definitely sold more on Ryan Lindley than I am Charlie Whitehurst. So
you know what? I don't want to hate on Charlie Whitehurst, but you know, this is
here's a little fun fact. Over the last 2 years, Whitehurst has been to more playoff games than Phillip Rivers has.
Okay.
Chargers fans.
But this is not a Charger show. We'll get into that later. But and with that being said, obviously Ryan Lindley's a senior. Another guy that's completely under the radar, came out of El Capitan High School with Ryan Lindley. So these guys have been teammates for the last 8 years, is Tommy Draheim. And a few years back, I actually had a chance to meet him personally. I mean, the dude is just a monster. And not only a monster, but he ran just over 5-second 40-yard dash at the pro day. So let me ask you something, BT. You get a guy that's 300-plus pounds, you know, putting up 265 pounds 30 times, running at you 5-second 40. It's pretty scary stuff.
Yeah, it seems like a 5th round pick of the Raiders on a yearly basis. They like those big physical freaks that they do. They call them combine warriors. I mean, you don't see many 330-pound guys running a 5-second flat. You know, it's absolutely incredible. Yeah,
and you know, just the pure athleticism for a guy that size. Maybe a little undersized for a left tackle in the NFL. I know he's been playing left tackle for the last couple of years on the Aztecs. You know, I wouldn't mind seeing him move inside, play. You know, he reminds me so much of like a Nick Hardwick. And I keep on going back to the Chargers because that's a team I know. But, you know, he just reminds me of that just athletic guy. And, you know, he's got a future, man. The same guy that did the report covering the pro day actually picked him as an undrafted free agent pick. But, you know, I wouldn't mind seeing him go in the 6th or 7th round. But worst case scenario, he's an undrafted free agent. You know, at least he gets to pick where he wants to go then.
Stay in San Diego.
So
they need a new left guard. You know, he just retired.
Good point.
Why not?
Good point. And with that being said, obviously Ryan Lindley's moving on. So the Aztecs held their annual red and black game, and all signs are pointing to Oregon State transfer Ryan Katz replacing Ryan Lindley next year as quarterback. And granted, we had some of the heaviest rain we've had in years in San Diego last weekend, so it's kind of a bad platform to show what Ryan Katz could do. But you know, watching a couple highlights of this guy, and the guy's definitely got an arm to be a good Division I quarterback. So don't know too much about him, but you know, I'm anxious to see him do well.
Yeah, I mean, he came from Oregon State. He's a transfer, one of the 3 high profiles. Well, 2 left now since Baxter's gone. But he came from another, I believe Oregon State is a pro-style offense.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, he should come in. Hopefully he's able to just pick up right where Lindley left off. I would love to see them not go back to the way they were when I was in college. I would like to see them keep on this pace that they're going under Coach Long.
Yeah, you know what? As good as the Aztecs have been the last couple of years, and again, we were just talking about this before it goes on. I mean, they're not making themselves a national power. You know, I mean, good teams don't go to the Louisiana Bowl or whatever it was they played in and get smoked by a Lafayette, Louisiana team. You know, so I mean, obviously we were so used to just very, very poor Aztec teams that we get a team that wins 6 or 7 games and we're excited. You know, I'm ready for the next group of guys that's actually really going to take this team, you know, to a national powerhouse, man. Why can't they do something similar to what the basketball team's done and you know, and be a top 25 team? I don't. There's so much talent down here. I don't see why they all got to go to USC and Cal and Oregon. You know, I mean, keep some of them here.
That's one thing. The recruiting definitely needs to be stepped up more.
Yeah.
You can't let the San Diego talent leave. There's no reason you let Reggie Bush and Alex Smith go off to different states, different colleges.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Perfect examples. And there's Alex Smiths and Reggie Bushes coming out of San Diego every year, it seems like. So with that being said, I want to move on, talk a little baseball. Tony Gwynn's back in the dugout, so you know, Coach Gwynn back with his team. Really excited about that. The team was able to pull off a win over UC Riverside. I believe it was Tuesday last week, welcoming Coach Gwynn back. So team has been struggling. There's no way to sugarcoat that, but you know, it's nice to have Coach Gwynn back in the dugout.
Yeah, that's definitely probably something that you could attribute the early season slump for, was the Coach Gwynn's out. You can't lose your figurehead, your coach, someone that recruited you there, someone that you consider a friend and you care about, and you're trying to play as hard as you can, but it's sitting in the back of your mind the entire time thinking, man, I hope this guy's okay. You know, what is that patented Tony Gwynn smile? You can't lose that. I mean, it's what San Diego baseball is. San Diego baseball is Tony Gwynn, and it's definitely nice to have him back.
No question. You know, such a young team. A lot of these guys were recruited, you know, and Tony Gwynn is the guy they signed up to go play for. So just to have him back in the dugout, you know, hopefully this team gets hot. We're just getting ready to start Mountain West Conference play. They haven't gotten off to a great start. You know, they're 0-3. They've lost 7 out of their last 9. But like I said, hopefully, you know, getting Tony Gwynn back in the dugout will give this team a spark. And spark that they need, quite honestly. They got Air Force at home this weekend, very winnable series, and they need to get right back on track. So, with that being said, moving on to men's golf.
Probably the biggest sport of SDSU that has gone seemingly unnoticed. I don't know how they jumped up in the rankings from the 12th to 9th, so they're top 10 in the nation. 10. And it just doesn't seem like they're not getting much love from anybody. So we're definitely going to pride ourselves on giving the golf team love.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And not only that, but it seems like every weekend I'm turning around and I'm seeing that they're winning advance or, you know, finishing in the top 5. Not only are they ranked 9th in the nation in the team rankings, but senior J.J. Spahn, he's also ranked. I think he's 10th in the nation. And exactly goes unnoticed in San Diego. You know, you don't hear any of the local guys talk about it. You know, last I checked, golf's a pretty big sport out here. So, you know, we're definitely gonna keep our eyes on the golf team and give them some love and give them some credit where it's due.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna try to get some of these guys in here.
Yeah.
Definitely got to get these guys some recognition in San Diego.
Yeah, get them to call in, and we're gonna try to get a couple of them on the show. So stay tuned for that. Another phenomenal performance. Senior Justine Mava, the softball team, just broke the San Diego State softball RBI record with I believe the record was 102. She broke it the other day with still what we had a half season to go.
Yeah, she's an absolute monster. She's been tearing the cover off the softball for the last 2-3 years now.
Yeah, you know, and that's incredible. The thing. That's what's amazing to me is she set the record, and she's a senior, but this is only her 3rd year. Yeah. Her freshman year she transferred in, so she's only played 3 years with the Aztecs and set the RBI record with essentially still half a season to go. So, and penciling 15, 20 more RBIs of that record, and who knows how long that's going to last. So with that, a couple more things we got here. Last week we introduced what I like to call question for BT. As you know, he's our NFL guru and just, you know, all around sports guy. This week I have a question for you, BT. My question is not if he's good enough, but we all know he's got the talent, but I want to know from you if you think Steven Strasburg will win a Cy Young in his career. Not can he, but will he?
he will, if, and it's a major if, his arm comes back to form. He has the most live arm I've ever seen watching someone play. He reminds me of Nolan Ryan, being able to hit in the, maybe being in the 8th inning, throwing 99 miles an hour, hitting 100. He has got an absolute live arm, and from the little bit that I've seen, watching him play with the Nationals, he is a dominant pitcher, and I believe that he will win a few, not just one, but I could see 3 or 4.
That was my next question. I see him busting out a couple of them, and it might not be this season because, well, for starters, he's got to go up opening day against the Cubs and around a little bit. For those of you that don't know, I'm a Cubs fan. So, with that being said, I've actually watched this guy, believe it or not, since high school. West Hills High School out in St. T is my alma mater, and me and a buddy, we used to go and pitch in high school, and it was funny because we'd sit behind a couple of scouts that were there to watch him, and the dude was hitting about 89 to 91 on the radar gun. And I think even his first year in college, he wasn't. Something just snapped. Something just snapped, and all of a sudden, dude starts breaking off 100-mile-an-hour fastballs. And but a lot of people don't want to talk about is the 100-mile-an-hour fastball isn't even his best pitch. It's by far that slurve he throws. So
I just think you could get a guy.
He's nasty, man.
You get a guy throwing the ball at you 100, 101, and he drops an 85-mile-an-hour changeup in there.
Nasty.
You're going to be out on your front knee in a second.
Didn't even mention the changeup, but yeah, he's got a nasty hook. You know what? And we've progressed so much with the Tommy John surgery that a lot of these pitchers come back stronger from Tommy John. Ryan Dempster comes to mind. We got another guy, Adam Wainwright, coming off of Tommy John. So I got to agree with you. I think he's gonna win a couple Cy Youngs, and as an Aztec alum, everybody would love to see that.
Yes, absolutely.
So last but not least, Aztec of the week. You want to take care of that? You want me to?
No, I'll introduce you. Okay. Describe. All right, sophomore. The Aztec of the week is sophomore Allison Reasoner.
Congratulations, Allison. 2 weeks ago, she won the heptathlon at the Aztec Invitational. Just phenomenal, track athlete. Followed it up at the Point Loma Nazarene Invitational with a 400-meter hurdles win and also the long jump win. So it was a tough decision between her and Justine Mava, but we gave her some love already. So again, congratulations to sophomore Allison Reasoner. Sorry if I butchered that, but you are PMLBSports.com's Aztec of the Week. And with that said, you got anything else?
I just want to give a shout out to the show at SDSU. It's the greatest crowd of basketball. Hopefully they continue it through the off season. Go to, maybe get involved in men's golf. Go to some baseball games, some softball games.
It's funny you say that because a couple of them do go to the baseball games.
Good.
Yeah, there's a couple. The baseball team signed a contract with Channel 4, and every time they're on, I watch, and they're sitting above the third base dugout. They're making a little noise. So
good. I know I love them. Don't get me wrong, but the show's got a mouth, and so I like to see them use that mouth for good against the opposing teams.
For more than just basketball.
Exactly. But no, undoubtedly, definitely I'd say top 3 crowds in the nation.
Yeah, they're right up there with the Duke Crazies or whatever they call them, and I couldn't agree with you more.
Yeah.
So with that being said, we're going to wrap this up. Don't forget to follow us. I'm on Twitter at Darren PFT Sports. Check out our website, PMLBSports.com. You can find links to all of our different shows, and you can find BT on Twitter.
Yeah, at BT on PMLB.
And until next week, feel free to hit us up if you got anything you want us to talk about on the show, any of you Aztecs out there. But until next time, we'll see you.
Have a good one.
Cheers.